days of long ago, created by the cosmic legends of the universe. There stands one man, one great man, a man dedicated to preserving all that is good in pop culture. Loved by few, hated by many. Alone in his fortress of awesomeness, he battles fearlessly against the wolf, the evil, the unjust. To right that which is wrong, to stand for justice, to serve all mankind. He is the one, the only, the comic relief crusader.
Hello, nerdy nerds of nerddom, and welcome to Frantic Friday. End of the week, time to somewhat try to relax because we only got a few more hours till most of us are done work and can just take the whole weekend to ourselves and just, oh, thank God, and just relax and enjoy the weekend as much as we can as we're heading into the fall and then eventually into the bleak coldness of winter. Damn it all to hell. So, how's everybody doing? We have Gap After Dark. Hello, all. Nice to see you, Gap After Dark. Hail to you. And we got the infamous Al Nickerson. Work? It's not work if you're enjoying it as a hobby. That's all I can say. So, and hello to everybody as we're simultaneously broadcasting on Rumble as well. Welcome to the show on a Frantic Friday, and let's welcome our guests, shall we?
If you're blue and you don't know where to go to, why don't you go where fashion sits?
And at first chair, we're welcoming Pop Culture Republic. How's it going, my dude?
Oh, it's going great. Enjoying the last gasp of summer here in Texas.
Ooh.
Yeah, the last few days that we melt down under triple-digit heat before we get a cold wave coming through or a cold front moving through, and things drop to the upper 90s instead of 110 in the shade.
Oh, God. I'd rather have that right now.
Yeah, all's good.
That kind of weather right now. Dang. And taking third chair today, we got Admiral Teague. How's it going, Admiral Teague?
Hey, what's going on? Nice to see everybody. By the way, PCR, I just saw a tweet from Marina Sirtis about the weather in Texas. I'm not going to read it, though.
Oh, goodness. I can only imagine. Imagine.
Is she making her views known again? Oh, gee, I can't imagine.
I think she said enough, right? I think she actually she might be back on social media now, but she mostly ghosted. Is this like an unstable weather time of year for you? Does it go hot to freezing, back to hot? Do you have storms, tornadoes? Is this tornado season?
No, it's solid heat for like 3 or 4 months, and then it starts cooling down here in Texas.
Ah, I see.
Good.
Yeah. It's summer.
Do it, Mother Nature. Do it. So, and in fourth chair, we got the illustrious TJ Hooker. Someone's had delusions.
Anybody
of
get that reference? I
grandeur.
wonder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. Yes.
I think Adrian Zemed is out there slapping himself in the knee, laughing very hard, as is Heather Locklear.
Well,
Yes.
as is a certain man
Yes.
that you're having right there. But yes. No.
I would think that William Shatner is extremely proud of his work on this show because it did very well, despite
love
it
it
not
as a
being
kid.
Star Trek.
I used to love it as a
man.
kid. I did. I
Right.
watched it. I'm old.
Yeah.
So
Right up there with his work on Tech War.
Tech War was a little better than some TJ Hooker. I watched the TJ
Yeah.
Hooker opening movie, and the bad chick is none other than sister of Mark Harmon, wife of John DeLorean, Kelly fucking Harmon.
And let's be honest, who didn't like Heather Locklear? Like, come on, like, damn.
Everyone loved Heather Locklear.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna say that if anyone was smuggling that cocaine, it was John DeLorean. It was John DeLorean's wife. Cinema Verite in the opening movie of TJ Hooker.
Also hitting on the reference, TJ is my nickname. Everybody knows my real name is Tom, so TJ Hooker. The TJ is part of my initials, and hell, everybody got it. Yay!
She was my first teenage crush.
Are
I will
you?
say that.
Mine was Alicia
Heather
Milano.
Locklear.
I don't know.
Oh
Yeah.
wait, Marina Sirtis was your first teenage crush?
No. No. God, no. Heather Locklear.
Was it what? Oh, Heather Locklear. Yeah, that makes a lot more sense. And Foggy, who was yours?
Alicia Milano. I'm sorry, I just crushed. I
You
mean,
know what? Because we're the exact same age, it's always been appropriate for me to find Alyssa Milano attractive. So she was a cute kid. She's a cute adult. What can I tell you? We're the exact same age. She's a little more outspoken on political matters than me and hates men, but that's a problem for her husband, as I would paternalistically say.
Exactly.
Welcome to the meeting of the patriarchy. How do we keep women down this week, Mike?
Oh, we'll find ways. Gap After Dark asks you, TJ Hooker, how did you get the name Foggy Bottom? Asking for a friend.
Foggy Bottom. That's a good one. Foggy Brains actually is a double entendre. If you've ever lived in our city, Mike knows about it. It's a very foggy city. And Foggy Brains, if you're 420 person, your brain gets a little foggy. So it's kind of a double-edged sword on that, living in the city and, well, being a 420er.
There you go.
Thanks for reminding me. I got to do that right now.
It says Maria Sirtis looks like a Muppet. She kind of does. Yeah.
Even young, even young, there were outfits they put on her until they figured out how to put her in a standard uniform. And that's that uniform leaves no room for modesty.
No, true.
She was pretty when she was young, but I will say this: when they gave her the purple outfit, is it me or did she look positively eggplantish?
Yes, she did.
Yeah.
So,
hey, I asked everybody here.
How's it going, dude?
Did everybody here ever seen Teen Steam that liked Alicia Milano back then? It's her own workout video when she was. I was the same age too.
It's possible that I have a copy of Team Steam somewhere.
Yeah,
marketed directly to dirty old men. It was like, check out me in a really skimpy outfit doing some strange pole dancing. That was that was weird. No, it was actually very easy not to buy Team Steam.
True. Well, getting on to the stupid news of the week, seeing how apparently us up here in the frozen north of Canada, you guys down bottom have been warned. Oh, that was a bad joke. Have been told that apparently we're delivering a virus of unspecified origin, which is more deadlier than before. And this comes out from a University of British Columbia professor that claims that not wearing a mask is racist, ableist, and classist.
The look of her face, her look, perfect example of an extreme leftist. She has that look. She does.
Yeah,
she does.
Yeah, that's the look.
Yep.
Wait, that's actually her. I honestly thought that someone went on to like the internet and found like disapproving person and like, sir, disapprove. I mean, all I can say is, from far and wide with glowing hearts, true north, proud and free. Before I saw Wayne Gretzky score 6 goals in one game after that song was sang.
Damn, that would have been awesome.
Yeah, Gab wants to
way
know
less
if
heat.
Marina Sirtis without makeup on screen. Yes, it is. Or a very well dressed potato. So I'm sorry, her head just looks like a potato. So
Yeah, it's round like that.
it's Mrs. Potato Head. That's what it is. Yes. And hello, Lemon Pie. How's it going, dude?
Hell, lemon pie.
So somebody try to explain this to me, how not wearing a mask is racist. I mean, forget the ableist and classist, okay? But racist? How?
Everything is racist. I take a fart in this chair. It's racist. I could stand
that
up and
mean
walk
that
across the room.
Maybe it goes to certain racial groups are more susceptible to the coof.
I think the Asian, most societies in Asia, they just wear the masks, especially commuting. But if you've watched like Tokyo, and by the way, anyone who thinks it's like a weird conspiracy to get us all like because whatever, this disease hit them the hardest. So I don't know what to make. I'm not telling anyone what to think, but this disease hit them the hardest. They were already wearing masks. Google Beijing subway 1991. Google Tokyo subway 1991. You'll see masks.
Yeah.
It's not something new. And a lot of societies, I mean, I've been seeing people wearing these masks on trains all my life because I live in ostensibly Asian neighborhood.
Yeah. I mean, I still see people on occasion wearing them in their cars. It's like you're not doing anyone a favor.
There was a picture of a woman, a bigger woman, in a pool. She had in a pool with kids around her. God knows they're pooping and peeing and stuff. She's sitting there wearing a face mask with one of those plastic shields over her, wearing the face mask. I'm like,
oh my God,
what in the
how is that gonna help?
I don't get it.
Yeah, because outside is not ventilated enough.
Oh yes, exactly.
She was trolling. People can still troll. Come on, that is ridiculous.
I know.
But,
I don't want to think that people are that dumb. That's why I'm optimistic.
and
if you're wearing the mask in the car alone, I assume Uber driver.
Yeah,
could be.
I mean, depending on if the car is an absolute disaster and the person is definitely not an Uber driver, that's one thing. But when I see a person in the car with the mask on, I'm like, I guess the Uber guy just forgot to take it off or whatever. It sold a lot of contact lenses. Try wearing glasses with those fucking things on.
Yeah. And I can back on the part of Japan. They do wear them constantly, have for years. I follow Japanese wrestling. People in the audience, if they're sick, they wear it, which makes sense. But yeah, and they still get sick from this, so go figure.
Right. If I'm sick, I'll wear it.
Yeah, exactly.
If I'm sick, I'll wear it on the subway as a courtesy to others.
Exactly.
Exactly.
I live in an area where there are still some mask requirements here and there. So, I mean, do I usually have one in my bag that's ready to go? Yes. Is it a good one? Well, anything worth doing. Do I support and endorse this? I just simply believe in complying with law and not having a conflict with people. If I'm going to jump into an elevator with 12 people, though, I might throw it on. And if I'm going to be in a single subway car, listen, if you've not been to New York, there can be 1,000 people crammed into one subway car. And think about it. There are 8-car trains running every 4 minutes during rush hour, and they're packed. So, like sometimes I've worn it on the subway because it's too gross. And I wore it the day the sky turned orange. And that mask turned black from the the air quality index was, what, 725?
Yeah. And hail John
16
Rebel,
right
who
now.
Says, oh my God, it's Rose Tico.
That was my thought. Yeah.
Oh my God. Yes.
Rose Tico looks better out of. If you Google Kelly Marie Tran out of character, though, she's actually no Rose Tico. They give her like a Three Stooges wig and an ugly, ugly makeover.
Yeah.
Remember, they try to make the women in all these new shows as unappealing as possible, unless they're ridiculously old. A show like Strange New Worlds, a show about how beautiful Rebecca Romaine looks at 60, while everyone else is like forced to they nerf everyone else down to her level.
Yeah.
Like Connie is pretty, Christina Chiang, but she they give her the worst makeup, the worst hair, the worst lighting, the worst clothes, the worst costume. It's just like, we're gonna spite everybody. We hired this beautiful actress. Let's make a mess of her.
Exactly.
Now, about that headline, though, I will say, why didn't she also put homophobic and transphobic also?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That would have helped, right?
Yeah.
Exactly. If you're going to score bonus points, You might as well just go for the gold, right? And this next one from Australia. How can we stop this kid from becoming a monster?
Oh,
So-
God.
Oh,
I
Yes.
saw that.
Yep, a call for
is it-
TV lessons at all schools to address the menace of toxic masculinity. Like, really?
Can
Ugh.
we just make a Can we just
It's-
make a movie about how children should behave if that's how we feel and not specify one gender?
But it's the young boys.
Well-
They're evil. They're going to become rapists.
Oh, yes, exactly.
Yes.
You know, because James Gunn did a movie like a few years ago called Brightburn. So,
Oh, yes,
maybe they're
yes.
thinking of that too much. Yeah. So, God,
Or we
but
could just do something truly.
seriously.
We could do something
Uh,
truly radical and just let kids be kids.
Yes.
Oh,
What is
yes.
that?
Oh,
No, that
Yeah,
Heaven
you
forbid.
want to see a monstrous kid? There's a movie called The Omen you can check out. I mean,
Ah, yeah, that's true. Yes, yes. But here on the bottom, if anybody can see this, so violence prevention groups want
Oh,
the
geez.
respectful relationship programs rolled out across Western Australian schools amid the horrible Spartan murders of women at the hands of their partners. Stopping family violence. Damian Green said unhelpful forms of masculinity were a particular problem. For frig's
there's a
sake.
0.3% chance that this kid grows up to become part of the 0.1% of people who commit 50% of all murders. We better hit it.
That's right.
Hit it and hit it hard now.
Yes,
One in every 400,000 of these men will probably raise their voice at some time in their life. We can't have that.
Exactly. That's right. Look at those menacing white slacks.
Don Johnson. Wait, no.
Look at them. Oh, and those shoes. They're elitist.
Yeah.
Those
I was
shoes
gonna say,
are elitist.
I would rather be. I'd be rather proud if that was young Admiral. He was dressed very nicely. He looks like a respectful kid. What can I say? They picked like the worst
Oh,
person. Like it
God.
should be a picture of Nelson from The Simpsons.
Yeah. I mean, dang, you can tell his parents are well-to-do off. I mean,
Yeah.
they're damn shiny.
And
They're-
by the
they're
way, can we
too
just
shiny.
be honest here? One quick thing here. Aren't
Yeah.
we just like kicking the can on this one? You
Yeah.
as parents want to control what's in the schools, and you have a right to. I'm not saying you shouldn't. You should
Yes.
control the age appropriateness level of, say, a book that your child's going to learn from.
Yeah.
If you don't want them reading Little Black Sambo, then you know what? You're not crazy. You go to a school board meeting, you exercise your freedom of speech and your right to a
That's right.
franchise in that town, and you can vote. But this is just bullshit. I mean, we're going to stop this kid from becoming a monster because in 4 or 5 decades he could go wrong. What are we doing but training them to be monsters? All right, this is
Exactly.
extremist. This is wrong. This is a how-to manual. And let me just ask you this: did anyone else but me get bullied in school? Just yes
Yep,
or
I
no?
did. Yep.
Oh no, I did too. And
Yep.
hello to
And
Sifa,
Sorry,
who says
I was just gonna say.
good evening. So I don't know where you're from, but hello and welcome to the show. So
We're a morning show in Australia, so it's got to be maybe Europe. But
Yep.
I would just say, did anybody who was bullied are they now friends with that bully? Because like at a class reunion, you had a couple of beers and laughed it off and stuff. Like,
No.
life gets better. That's what
Actually, I
really?
became
Okay.
best friends with one of
Yeah,
my bullies.
yeah.
We became best friends
Yeah,
at
no.
one time. So
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
it ran the
Yeah.
gamut. There were like
Yeah.
3 people who antagonized me. 2 of them are like friends of mine now that I
Yeah.
like. I mean, and they're like, yeah, my child. And like we sat down and I couldn't have felt better. What I'm saying is keep an open mind and I'm
Yeah.
not saying go out train your kid to be a bully, but like maybe the bully, bully is a title that kids earn. They don't just get labeled it most of the time. But
Yep.
maybe there's something that's hurting that bully. You know why I didn't bully other kids aside from the fact I wasn't physically capable of it? My
Ah.
parents loved me.
oh,
on
there
top
we
of
go.
that, yeah, there's always something going on at home as well, or something else in their
Right.
life that's causing.
What I'm saying is,
Mhm.
what I'm saying is what we're doing here is we're telling teachers to overcome your own bad parenting. If you don't want this to happen to your kid, you talk to them, you act like a parent.
Yeah.
And is there
Yep.
extreme? If I may, just quickly, yes, there's toxic.
Sweden, all right.
Sweden.
Tired of it. But there's also toxic femininity. So
Yes, there is.
There is,
Yeah.
yes, there
And-
absolutely is.
And I just want to say,
People
thank you
grow
for
up.
listening.
Yep.
And I just
Oh.
want to say thank you for listening all the way in Sweden. So
Yes. Yes.
hello to you, and I hope you like. And
We'll
subscribe and
talk
whatnot.
louder so you can hear us.
Exactly. Yes, because transatlantic. We know that
It's so
we need to
far.
talk louder.
No,
I know.
people grow up and life moves on.
Exactly.
You know what would be great if in a Star Trek parody, the universal translator is simply yelling. It's like, hey, listen, I need you to do this. And they look at you uncomprehensively. Motherfucker, I said get on the stick now.
So, so moving on. As we all know, and Foggy, this might be up your wheelhouse here, but as we know, the game Starfield is out now, and it is not without its certain controversies that are happening right now, as I'm sure that some people probably might have known. And so this from the Niche Gamer.
I know where this is
Apparently,
going.
yep, the Nexus mods reportedly are banning Starfield mods that remove pronouns from the game.
Okay, can I break this down? I've been following. I want
You
to
may break this down.
but I don't have an Xbox new one. I want to get one. I want to play this
Okay.
game. I love Bethesda games. I love Fallout, one of my all-time faves. Skyrim, it's the same company, and it's like Skyrim in space, as they joke. But to me, you take 3 seconds. You got to put a pronoun in, and that's it. You don't notice again. I'm like, okay, whatever. I don't care. But some people are up and I got to put a pronoun. No, that's overdoing it. Just put it in and just forget about it. You don't want to see it the rest of the game, Yeah. So it's kind of overblown in my opinion. People are like, it's a pronoun. Yeah, whatever. Who cares? Like I don't put pronouns in shit, but some people do. But just it's 3 seconds out of your thing. You create your character, put it down, just forget about it. And because it's an amazing game, they don't force anything in this game. There's no woke stuff. It's an amazing game from what I hear.
Okay.
So it's just
God help the person from Hollywood who doesn't put their pronouns and have them be weird in their Twitter account.
Pronouns anywhere. It's stupid as hell.
Ask Gina Carano if you leave it for people to assume your gender by looking at you. I mean, she looks pretty much all woman to me, but
exactly.
People still were mad at her for not spelling it out more.
No, she had the best pronouns. Beep, boop.
Boop.
Boop. Yeah, I loved her pronouns.
Yep.
Yeah, and it wasn't even antagonistic. It was just like, oh, beep, bop, boop. You know what I mean? And she moved on. And Gina Carano was one of those people who's like, I guess they sat her down like, you're going to do all these jolly, happy things for Disney. And she's like, just had her earbuds in and just kept chewing gum. She's like, no one's going to tell me what the fuck to do. I don't give a shit what this asshole says. Like, I got my check, it cleared. And if you're going to fucking try to run my life, I'll go somewhere else and make money. Because I think that this cinematic universe might just go to shit. Wow.
Yeah. And help James Caserta.
Certainly
That's
did.
also here in the chat. And
hello, James.
Al Nickerson, my pronouns are they lied. So,
but yes, anybody thinking about getting this game, don't let that deter you. It's actually, from what I hear, I don't have it yet. I don't have any of the systems. It looks brilliant. I've been waiting for it for years. If you like Skyrim or any of those from Bethesda, and I guess this is a lot less buggy than their previous games, but it's just a beautiful, massive world like they always have. And so what? You got to do a pronoun, do it, and then just forget about it. You don't see it the rest of the game, so it's not a big deal.
So
a lot less buggy.
Sitha, you made the right choice. Sorry, am I saying that right? Is it Ketha or Satha? Or Sitha. I just don't know. We're Americans here. Help us out.
Yeah, we're not saying it in Swedish. So
and hello, James Caserta. And when you put, if you put any numbers in there, put the numbers in English numbers. We can't read the Swedish numerals.
True. So the article goes: the pronouns in Starfield are so much of not a big deal that Nexus mods are now allegedly banning any mods that remove them from the game. Twitter users were drawing attention to some of the threads in the Starfield stream forums, revealing that Nexus mods supposedly announced that they will ban any mods that removes a pronoun feature. Well, this is interesting. And so this post from the Archcast, and here is the true problem that the pronouns in Starfield, I don't care if you can be he, she, they, them, or your majesty, but I do care about the fact that it's a political tool used to enforce obedience, and if you disobey, you get whacked. Next.
And let me add to this too. If anybody hasn't been following, Xbox is about to change their Game Pass up. They're going to be stricter on what they do now in the future too. They're going to be banning more people. Oh yeah, they're getting stricter. The new policies coming of like swearing, and it's just good. They don't want cheaters and people saying disgusting stuff. So much. I'm not against that because kids are too.
I can just say On behalf of everyone who's ever gotten gunned down and teabagged playing the game Battlefield, and you hear some like 9-year-old whose parents can't be bothered to be parents laughing at you while you're doing it, this might help.
Yeah, no, exactly. I've dealt with some people like that in Destiny and other games. Like, oh god,
GTA. We're not again. These gaming scores are not going to overcome the fact that if some people have decided to be horrible fucking parents.
Exactly.
But I can see a lot of people's frustration with this whole thing, this whole pronoun thing, basically being shoved into everything. I mean, because this is the kind of stuff that we've been talking about, like in comics and movies and in TV shows, and people are just fed up. And I know that you
but look at the financial track record of success with this.
Oh yeah, exactly, right. So
this has already sold multi-millions already in the first day of Steam. It's done amazing. And now I understand. I hate the pronoun thing. I despise it. But this is like 3 seconds. There you go, done, and then you don't have to deal with it again. So that I can.
Okay.
Some of the people are taking this too.
Are there weird? There also is the problem that there's no they them.
I don't know. They have all of it in them. No, they just don't want to.
They have they them. They have they them.
Oh,
so
yeah.
They're mad at the choices people make when they do their own personal thing behind closed doors. Well, that's certainly why my father fought in Vietnam.
Exactly. Just one and done. I mean, to me, that's over. And I despise pronouns, but like whatever. Like just put it in and be done with it and play the game.
If that's your thing, that's your thing. But I'm going to call you what you look like or dress like, pretty much. You know. I have been guilty of not pinning someo's gender right like twice in my life.
Harder nowadays than ever.
Boy, is that hard. Yeah, this was a long time ago. I was just dumb. In the words of Arnold Schwarzenegger in the immortal reading of the book of John Matrix. Why don't they call him Girl George?
Yeah. But here's the thing. I mean, it seems like just a lot of people are kind of celebrating this, like you know, removing people that just don't want this kind of crap in video games. Like, you know, this post right here, they made an official announcement that they will stand against transphobia, bigotry, and their platform has no room for hate. Well, first of all, nobody's hating on it.
Well, I quit. That's it. Fuck that site.
Nobody's hating trans people like they're going out with billy clubs and stuff like that. Any mods that promote this will be removed. We are winning. Starfield is groundbreaking in so many ways, socially, culturally, and economically. No,
it's groundbreaking.
It's not groundbreaking whatsoever. This is why economically lots of people are failing, because people are sick and tired.
Well, look what happened with all the. What was it? What was the Hogwarts one that came out earlier this year?
Yeah,
that got so much hate for it because J.K. Rowling's
Legacy,
Hogwarts Legacy. It broke records. Yes. It's a beautiful game. I haven't tried it yet, but it looks amazing, and I definitely want to try it.
That's
I've
right.
I've watched some playthroughs. It does look absolutely amazing.
Yeah. See, comply or else.
You know, I'd like to suggest some new. I'd like to suggest some new pronouns.
Yes,
grow and up.
Yes.
Yeah.
Grow
you know,
up.
Where is this coming from? I'll tell you where it's coming from. We've all seen the commercials. We've all seen the anti-gaming commercials. What happens right now is we live in a society that is a very vengeful one, where people have come to believe vengeance is justice. All right. Now, if I'm not incorrect, watch this sequence of events. Zack Snyder, whether this movie works or not, and I'm not his biggest fan, but I know he has a lot. Rebel Moon seems to be a Star Wars adjacent movie that was pitched to Star Wars. Is that correct and rejected?
Right. It was he was wanting to do a Star Wars movie, but he was rejected. So he said, "Fine, I'll go do my own Star Wars-esque movie."
Yeah,
exactly.
So it's all his own.
So here's the thing, though.
Caesar says,
right now.
Says,
sorry.
Yeah, Caesar says, kiss, don't tell, right? Where's the freedom for people who don't want to be exposed to that?
Right.
And I'm going to call you Ketha if you won't spell it out. But where is this all coming from? It's coming from an ice cream company that makes soap and ice cream. Dove makes ice cream. Let's talk about Dove. Well, if I owned a fucking ice cream company, I might promote that it's okay to be out of shape too. I might celebrate it. You know what? The artist Rubens' paintings are appreciating as we speak.
Yeah. And the posts don't stop. Schrodinger's pronouns simultaneously a small, insignificant thing that you're stupid for caring about, but we also can't allow anyone to remove them for their own game, from their own game, because it would be problematic and literally transphobia.
See, now
I've
that's
become to hate the word problematic.
now that's
I
where,
know,
as a
right?
gamer myself, like, you got to make a male or female character. Sometimes I make a female character, and doing him, her, whatever, I don't give a shit. I would done it and forget it. But taking the rights away from people to be able to take it out of the game if they want, that's stupid. They should allow modders to do it. Why does it?
Yes.
Now that's part that's stupid. I don't agree with that.
Yeah,
It's
my
really-
dyslexia had me thinking they did the right thing, but they
Yeah.
didn't. It's the opposite of what I thought.
Mm.
Yeah.
It's more of this looking at different platforms and removing people they don't like. It really reminds me of the trend in Facebook like 6 years ago where people started chanting, "Unfriend me now if
Oh God, yeah.
dot dot dot."
Yes,
I got so
yes.
tired of seeing that
Yeah,
from
or-
friends and even family members. Like, unfriend me now if you vote a certain way. Unfriend me now if you believe certain things.
I
Okay,
give
I'll
$100 to
just-
the.
I'll just
I
get
give
off the
$100
whole
to your opponent
platform
when
and
you
be
post
done
that.
with it.
Yeah. It
I
makes
love
your
when
life
people are
less stressful.
people were shaming me for not wanting to be on Facebook, so I just started reposting the article about how they intentionally exploited and destroyed the egos and minds of young girls with Instagram. I'm like, yeah, you stay on this.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You guys stay on this, and just this in the world we live in. I just want to say this Rebel Moon movie that looks like it could be okay. Whether it's
Yeah.
good or not, Disney's going to start to call Zack Snyder in this movie white supremacist and Nazi adjacent because it's
Oh,
going to fuck
yeah.
up. Because even if it doesn't do great, its opening weekend, there's enough curiosity that it's going to have a bigger opening than any Star Wars since like TFA.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it goes on. There doesn't seem to be any official announcement on the Nexus Mods website or Twitter account about the matter, but one Twitter user shared a message they got from Nexus Mods support. It is possible the message could be fake. Oh, I wonder. So this message was, we reserve the right to host or not host whatever content we want on our own site. We do not want to host mods that remove diversity from a video game. If that upsets you enough that you no longer want to use our site, then quite frankly, your presence here will not be best. I invite
They're
you to use
blaming
your
the wrong
account.
people.
They are
They're
blaming the wrong people.
Yeah.
Isn't the problem
Delete-
that isn't the problem that they themselves did not properly train their mods and are now firing the people for doing what they told them to do? Be it right or wrong, the company
Yes.
is wrong.
Exactly, because remember what was it a year ago when the Obi-Wan miniseries came out, right? And then Star Wars is basically pointing the finger. Oh well, if you don't like it, well, that you must be all racist if you don't like this character.
Yeah.
Meanwhile,
Gotta
and I just
be.
want to say this. I want to say this very, very quickly. I spoke to Roman of the Empire, who does Star Wars. Right, we did a Star Wars, Star Trek talk about some of the problems, and it did real well and all. It's on my site. But the point is this: I asked him a question. Now, this guy lives and breathes Star Wars, right? He knows his shit the way I know Star Trek. And you know what I said to him? Who'd you hear of first, Reva or Kenobi's show? He goes, Reva. So it's called meat shielding, ladies and gentlemen. If your story sucks, what you want to do, if it's a Superman story, you want a female, black, lesbian Superman. So that if people say that Superman story sucks, you're like, you're not okay with female, black, lesbian, powerful characters. I'm like, no, that's not Superman, and fuck you. This is the problem we have now. Is that if we start someone out there right now is starting a podcast called like Ironic Relief Crusader, copying the episode name and trying to draft off Mike's success, and they're calling us Yahtzees there right now. It'll happen later when my show goes on. The world is full of kings and queens who blind your eyes and steal your dreams. Imitation's the sincerest form of policy, but at the same time, invading and destroying someone else's brand or self-owning your own is a problem too. These people should have trained their mods right, and we don't have this stupid story. Comic books are being attacked, and video games are being attacked because they make money. You notice they're letting up on superhero and comics because they failed after complying?
Yeah, because they've destroyed the whole genre of superhero. As
Love
far
and Thunder.
As,
Say no more.
Yeah,
Love
as
and
far as
Thunder.
destroying another character or franchise, this goes back to people getting flack for simply saying Peter Parker is Spider-Man and Miles Morales is Miles Morales.
Exactly. Exactly. The way I see it is Miles Morales is a Spider-Man, not the Spider-Man,
Mhm.
Agreed.
in the
Agreed. And
multiverse of Spider-Man. But they're trying
But I
to
ask
push
you-
the whole thing. It's like, no, this is your Spider-Man now. It's like, no, it's not.
Nope.
Peter
No,
Parker
not.
is
what person?
Spider-Man.
I don't
What
even mind Miles
person?
Morales, but he's not.
No,
the-
I mean, I don't mind Miles Morales
Yeah.
whatsoever.
The games
I
are
think
good.
he's
I
a
got
good
real
character, and
problems
it
with
puts it-
Miles Morales.
No,
Just kidding. He's fine.
The point is, it's a different spin on the whole Spider-Man story of sorts, right? I don't mind
And he
Miles Morales,
knows.
I
he
don't
knows
mind it
Spider-Man.
but when
because
you're trying
we
to
have-
push it
yeah.
as this is Miles Morales, no if, ands,
Oh.
or buts, well, then we got a problem.
Well,
So-
as a gamer, I'm going to step in quickly on this particular
Yes,
thing.
go ahead.
Like I said, I love Bethesda, and the developers. I don't blame them. It's mostly the higher ups that make these stupid decisions.
Yeah.
But again, it's a pronoun. It takes 3 seconds. Forget about it. But then when you get the people saying mods, and including the community mods like me or you or anybody who does modding on the indie, for PCs or whatever, now we should have the right to do that. They shouldn't take our right. Now that's too much. You say, no, we're going to ban you. Why? Because maybe some people don't like it, and they should be able to take it out. They're not hurting
Yeah,
anybody.
exactly.
That's stupid.
Because here's the thing, because for years now we've gotten I don't want to say we've gotten used to, but we've been so familiar with, like, say, a population that's around, let's say conservatively or liberally, I mean, about 1 to 2%. Okay. And we've tried to be nice and said, okay, fine. If you want this in, not a problem. But the problem is you give them an inch, then they take a mile.
Yeah.
Or in
Yes.
this case, like 10 miles,
Mhm.
right?
They keep
and it's
on
like,
taking.
that's right. And it gets to the point where it's like if you don't like it, then go develop your own. Right? And then
Okay.
as soon as you develop your own, right? Then they're like, well, then how come this isn't in it? How come that isn't in it? Are you like racist? Are you transphobic? Are you,
Like,
homophobic or whatever? Are you this?
yeah.
Are you that? It's like, no, we're not. Well, maybe you could just add this in. Then you do it again, right? And then the same cycle happens all over again. Then it's taken over, and it's like, well, then if you don't like it, go start your own. And then the cycle repeats, and it repeats, and it repeats, and it repeats, and it goes on and on and on. And then what ends up happening is, like, nobody that just wants to do their own thing has any ground left.
Yeah.
And this is kind of what we end up seeing, right? It's like, so people don't, and I know it seems like such a small thing, right? But some people just don't want it.
Yeah, and they have that right to. And
Yep.
being forced to do it is the part I don't like. No, you shouldn't
But
force
it's like,
them to.
No, when
Yes.
somebody like, say, Eric July or Ethan Van Sciver do go and do their own thing, man, they get attacked left and right.
Right.
Now, Foggy Brains, do you not like being forced to do things because the force is female, or just afraid of a strong woman?
No, I love strong women. God, yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm just kidding. I figured I'd tee that.
No, I know,
joke up for you. You took it right out of the park. It's joking batting practice here, guys. Joke time batting practice. Your poor pitcher, Admiral Teague, is just going to try to put them over the plate.
But I mean, it's like they're clubbing people like baby seals. Take it.
Yeah.
You're gonna take it, and if you don't, well, then we'll dox you. We'll find out where you live. We'll find out what your name is. We'll find out this. We'll find out that. We'll find out where you work. We'll basically destroy your lives because you don't go along with what we want, right?
Yeah, it's a disgusting agenda, and it's
bad. We have two completely separate and different cultures and this society. We just can't get along. There's no middle ground anymore.
No.
Yeah.
Here's a good indicator. You ready? If you have allies, you're fucked up in the head, because I don't have any allies. I'm on here with my fucking friends.
Yeah,
I have friends. All right. I'm not going to overlook, like, let's say, like, Mike has like a heroin habit or something, but he believes what I believe in. So I'm just like, a little heroin never hurt anyone. If Mike's my friend, if he's doing heroin, I'll be like, dude, the synthetic heroin from the replicator is much like regular heroin, but its effects are easily dismissed. Like, I don't want any allies, but I welcome friends. And if you're thinking in those constructs, you're already pretty far gone, and you need to calm down. You need to calm down and watch, some old Star Trek.
And you know the funny part, if I may say, some of these allies are more annoying than
I want that money, you owe me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Seriously, it's the allies that are actually more forceful with these rules. Like, shut up. The people in these communities a lot of times are like, go away. It's these stupid allies
are for war. Allies are the people, the Canadians who have only been part of the United States for about 30 years now and still don't accept it. But during previous conflicts, during World War I, their abusive spouse that they will not walk away from and put on their money, it's called England, they just cannot be put down enough, thrown around enough, and dusted off like flies enough by the British to feel like they're British enough. They will do anything to please any British person. If Prince Harry said, is Meghan Markle a good actress, they would lie and say yes. So what they did was, in World War I, which is the largest conflict in our 51st state's history when they were a country, more Americans, you factor in 700,000 Americans, 70,000 Americans were lost in World War I. We only fought for 8 months. The Canadians, with their good-naturedness, they took hunting rifles into war. They had the worst rifle. It did not work. And they didn't view that as an excuse. They still did plenty of things, and they had a lot of accomplishments while taking an enormous amount of losses against Kaiser Bill in a war that never should have happened. But the point is that this was a big deal to my fellow Americans in Canada. And I want to say, because your governor, because you have chosen a Cuban governor, or as you call him, your premier, is it premier? Chancellor?
Prime Minister.
Listen,
Moron,
Chancellor
him.
I believe that if this is not accomplishable, stronger leadership must be voted in. Chancellor Valorum should be replaced by Chancellor Trudeau.
Exactly. Yep, John.
I mean Chancellor Castro. Sorry.
Yeah. They invite the hate that they get. Yes, they do.
Unfortunately, you are right. You are right.
To the Anglos and Canada, the lover.
If by waifu you mean where we send people who need to go to jail, a free-range jail, well, then you're right. Kylie Minogue might be beautiful, but she's descended from criminals.
The war, but anyway.
They did. They fought very bravely at all 3 battles of.
And it was a Canadian that took down the Red Baron, Billy Bishop.
There you go.
No, he was shot down by an Australian ground fire, and everyone knows.
No. Nice.
Like I said, they're not above lying to please their British overlords. Look, in that war we didn't have to be in, that we helped you out in, we killed the most famous bad guy. He was only one pilot, but please, can we have something?
Hey, I grew up with BBC Comedy and Red
Smile
Dwarf.
and
So
wave,
yay.
boys.
Yeah,
Smile and wave.
We sent our guys into war with super soakers. Come on, we're brave.
That's right. So, feedback thread on the Nexus Mod website also had a staff member claiming that the banning of mods that remove pronouns from the game is allegedly not happening. The post was, "Don't ban people modding out the LGBT propaganda from Starfield like Nexus did with Spider-Man."
Mike, are these mods compensated and paid for, or are they just super fans who want to be mods?
Actually, I can speak on this being a dire gamer. Mods are just like you and me. It's just somebody who's in the game and they can tweak it and then they put it on the forum. I can download a Skyrim mods that people like you and me do that improve the graphics, make the water look nicer, and they're just people that don't get paid. They just want to do it.
So we're not talking about moderators. We're talking about mods to the game.
Mod the game, yeah. The people like you and me that they mod the game, and some of them want to remove the pronouns, like just the average person, and we say you should have the right to. It's not hurting anybody else.
I was born in the 20th century. When we use words like mods, can we just be a little more specific so I know what I'm talking about?
Not the moderators. I know what you mean. Yeah.
So, however, a webmaster of the Nexus mods made it clear their stance on mod banning, even if they didn't address the matter directly. So, our policy on this sort of content is laid out in this news post, wherever that news post is, specifically paragraph 3. Whether you continue to use our site based on this policy is entirely up to you. However, pay particular attention to the second to the last paragraph And last paragraph in that news post, the same applies here.
Oh, that
So
sounds fun
the-
and video gamey. Subsection 3.
Yeah, exactly. Paragraph 2. Yeah. Let's see. Recently, there's been some silly drama on our site that was sparked by someone uploading a mod for Spider-Man Remastered. The mod replaced the very few pride flags the game actually has with already prevalent USA flags texture from the game. The mod was removed from Nexus
Oh
Mod,
no!
and the
Oh,
author
no.
was
I don't-
banned.
I don't-
Oh,
The
to address
no,
the banning,
the flag of our nation.
Exactly.
The flag of the United
Yeah.
States. Well, I'm sorry if we hurt your feelings by kicking your fucking ass in a war, but we're not in the habit of losing. Lately.
to address the
lately.
banning, which is what a lot of people want to focus on, the mod was uploaded by a sock puppet account, i.e., a newly made account by someone who already has an account on the site and uploaded under the name Mike Hawk. It was very
we know all about
clearly
sock
done
puppets here.
deliberately. It was very clearly done deliberately to be a troll mod. The fact that the user needed to make a sock puppet like a coward to upload the mod showed their
Wow.
intent to troll,
Wait,
and that
they have
knew
the freedom
it would
of
not
speech.
be allowed. Right? Yeah.
Look,
Or
they have
maybe
the
they
freedom
just
of
knew.
speech.
Yeah,
Had
maybe
they
the
not been
company-
a coward,
Oh my
and they
God.
had used
Look,
their main account,
and they
to
wonder why
Wow.
people are.
we would
They
have
wonder
simply
why
removed
people
the
are
mod.
afraid.
Yeah, and told them that we do not want to host it, only banning them
Bullshit.
if they
You would have banned them
re-uploaded
for
it
life.
again after being
Bullshit.
fairly warned.
Yeah.
The creation
You would
of
have
the
sent.
sock
You would
puppet
have sent
removed
a
any doubt
hitman.
and made it a very easy decision for us. Both the sock puppet account and the user's main account have been banned.
It was so
Wow.
easy for us to make this decision that we didn't bother to think about it. We just reflectively acted, had our lawyer
Yeah.
write a statement. You know what? No wonder this person used a sock puppet. Look at you called them a
Yeah.
coward. You didn't like the mod. It should have ended it like that. Like, you know
This,
what? On
yeah,
our
this
platform,
person
we're
knew
just not going to
exactly what
accept
was
this
going to
mod.
happen.
Yeah,
I want to bring up a
It's
point
like
on
you-
this.
You
That's from a video I
justified
seen.
them.
yeah.
I'm
Go
going
ahead,
to bring up
Foggy.
a point quickly about this. One, Spider-Man's a brilliant game, but so what? They did it. And I don't know what it's with some younger Americans, and I've seen some videos. They say if I see somebody flying a flag in front of their house, they're racist. What? Well,
Yeah,
It's
why?
called No
Why?
Child Left
Riding your
Behind.
damn flag. I mean, we
There's
have
no
nothing
child
wrong
left
with taking
behind.
pride in the
Yeah.
country that you live in.
how you're racist flying the American flag. What the hell is wrong with you? What,
Get the
what-
fuck out of here. Go. You know what? You know who flies the
Messed
American
up.
flag? You know what the American flag is flying? Over every country where freedom has been threatened and our soldiers have left their blood. You want to see an American flag that no one's complaining about? Check out the fucking cemetery in Normandy.
Mm.
Go
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
Go there.
So
See what
goes
they
on.
think. But you ask a French guy to take down that American flag over the American cemetery. He's going to punch you in the fucking face.
Rightfully so.
Yep.
too. Yeah.
So it goes on. In regards to the replacement of pride flags in this game or any game, our policy is thus. We are for inclusivity. We are for diversity. If we think someone is uploading a mod on our site with the intent to deliberately be against inclusivity and or diversity, then we will take action against it. The same goes
Wait,
for
so
people
flying
attempting
a
to
flag-
troll- Yeah.
Wait, so flying a flag that stands for "From the Many One." That's not diverse. Fuck you.
Exactly.
Mm.
So the same
Mhm.
goes for people attempting to troll other users with mod deliberately cause a rise. For our part, we will endeavor to do a better job of moderating our website to this ethos ourselves. We aren't the authority on what users can and cannot mod. Well, apparently you are.
Yeah, this goes
But I mean,
way.
You're just
This goes
contradicting
way
yourself
beyond.
right here.
Like
This goes
fucking
way beyond the whole
lies.
I'm
unfriend me
removing-
now. This is like you don't.
Yeah.
We'll just unfriend you and ban
Yeah.
you for not
Yeah.
agreeing with us.
Yeah,
Us
let's be honest.
removing a
If you put a
mod-
swastika flag up there, yeah, that's something that's gonna, or something
Oh,
with
yeah.
that thing. Yeah, I understand that. but you're putting your American flag in the place of a flag that's only for the minority. That's for the majority. What the fuck? I'm sorry,
Yes.
but that just pissed me off. Like, that's just.
I was not aware that you gave up your American citizenship if you had a different orientation. You have the freedom of speech and freedom of self-determination. You have the freedom to love and marry who you want. This is some bullshit. There's nothing wrong with the American flag.
Exactly.
Only if you have the right think. If you have the wrong think, you will be canceled.
That's right. So it goes to us
The right think would be enjoy other
perspectives on a
perspectives.
Nexus mods. Nothing more, nothing less. We also note that we are not the only site that has been removing this mod from their platform. As a private
Cowardice
business,
is contagious.
we have a right to choose what content we do and do not want to host on our platform. Respect this right the same way you want to you want respect for your rights. If you feel something goes against our policy, please report it. However, we will be the adjudicators on what we do or do not think is appropriate for Nexus mods. And that goes for everyone, no matter where they stand, left, right, up, or down. We do not want to argue with you. We do not want to, and we won't argue this with you. We now explained our stance, and we will not be providing a platform for you to distort our position in order to feel an irrational and paranoid narrative. You can do that elsewhere where we don't care enough to read it. If this policy upsets you, if we've broken some moral code of conduct as a business and you can't accept that, then please delete your account. Bottom option and move on as we will. Wow.
Okay, I bring a solution to this. Let me bring a solution to them. How about how about have half trans flags and half American flags? I guess they'd still get pissed off at that, I bet you.
Oh, yeah,
or let the player get maybe just give each player the option of
Dead man, sorry.
Yes, you came in at a good time. So
I'm going to be dead man. I'm about to die of embarrassment about what this game company said.
Yes. But I mean, you know,
you heard it here first, folks. You're not going to fly a symbol of oppression like the flag of the United States of America to make people feel bad on their platform. And you know what? They're not going to argue with you. They're just going to shut you up and shut you the fuck down. And
they're not
going to drag you.
But not your right.
Yeah, and we're not going to drag you publicly until we say that we won't. Then we're going to drag the fuck out of you publicly.
Yeah.
This really reminds me of that quote from that comic book creator whose name I've forgotten. It's like where she said, "If you don't like my politics, don't buy my books.
Don't buy my books." That redhead.
I was like, "Hey, that's cool. I get to save some money. Thanks for letting me know."
Exactly.
So, you know, as someone tries to entertain people, one thing I would say is this: is like, if you don't like my politics, you simply have a different perspective, and good for you. Viva la difference. I would never want to be in a world where everyone thought like me. I read a book about a world where everyone thought the same. It was called Animal Farm.
Yes.
Some animals are more equal than others.
Let me just tell you about how Snowball ate all the apples and cream after the Battle of the Windmill and took all the credit.
Hey, I'm a leftist, but I have friends that are Trump fans and right wing, and they're good people. Like, stop judging people of their political views.
Yes.
And we thank Foggy Brains on his farewell appearance on the show. We're sorry that you have to leave right now.
I've been canceled.
Yes. Yay.
I love you. I love you, Foggy Brains. You're the best. You know what? Go ahead and have, your differing perspective. I'm not going to call out my friend. And you know what? If you have different politics than me, please listen to Saving Star Trek anyway, because it's not about that on my show. I did not go into the same line of work as David Pakman for a reason. I don't want to be Steven. No one on this panel wants to be Steven Crowder or David Pakman. We don't want to opinionate politically that much. I think we do our best work. Like PCR, that Ahsoka review was comprehensive. You had more to say about it than they were able to give us. And we got a lot. And you know what the Ahsoka reviews are doing for people? They're giving them all the homework that they lied and said you didn't have to do. You need to watch 10 years of TV and read about 3 books to watch this fucking show.
Yep.
Which you pretty much have to do.
So Nexus Mods is no stranger to having a biased political agenda, as they banned an alternate costume mod because the character it was affecting was underage, despite the lack of evidence claiming this. A mod that turned a black character in Baldur's Gate 3 white was also removed from the corrupt website. This site is
sounds like we can call these people
mod. Yeah.
Do these people have what we would call? Do these people have what we would call a swindler's list?
Yes, yes. The site also banned a mod that changed all the LGBT flags into American flags in a certain Spider-Man game, while one was also was transformed. All LGBT flags was worshipped. Yeah. So this is
so if I sell you my car, I can tell you what color to paint it, what kind of tires to put on it after you buy it. Okay.
Yeah,
that's reasonable.
Right.
The policing of people's politics on such websites is sadly not uncommon, as the gender propaganda and woke corruption of the West has permeated throughout the entire industry establishment. Yeah, there you go. This is why we can't have nice things.
Yeah.
So
let's tear down statues. Let's take out flags. Like, what? No.
Exactly. You know, this.
Do you know? I hope that someone just fired that off on their desk, because if you hired a professional public relations person to write that piece of shit, your company is doomed and your image is fucked. This is exactly the same as saying, like, listen, I donated that suit to Goodwill, but I don't like that lapel pin you put on it, even though you paid for it and I don't have it anymore. This is like saying, I set the home run record for Major League Baseball, but the fan caught the ball and they want to keep it, and I'm going to throw a fit until they give it back. I mean, no. You know, you walk to that plate as a baseball player to hit a home run intending that it leaves the park. Whoever catches it, catches it. It's fair game. If you sell me a video game and are you also going to tell me that it's like wine? I have to store the video case in an upright and vertical position, like the download. It has to be on like a USB stick that only is with other good USB sticks, like because the Jägermeister in your fridge attacked and took over the Polish vodka or something. These people are on drugs.
Yeah. John Riddle says Swindler's List. I'm stealing that.
By the
You're
way,
welcome. I had to work to get that joke in there, but it was worth it.
How much did Todd pay? Todd McFarlane, how much did he pay for that baseball that was like the home run record at one time? How much did he pay?
I believe it was like about $1 million. The Bartman ball, if you want to see a great documentary, you don't have to like sports to see. This is about groupthink and how people act. At a baseball game, you're allowed to try to catch balls that are in flight on their way out of the park, or that look like they're leaving the park, or that are going foul. Leaving the park, it could be a home run or a foul ball. So this guy Bartman was there, and he had his headphones on. He had his Cubs hat on, and the Cubs were leading. A ball was hit to the outfield. He stood up and tried to catch it because he's allowed to. He manages to catch the ball. But what happens is the player on the field called him out and called him a piece of shit right there on the spot. The announcer said it was like, it was Harry Carey. It's like, oh, I hope that someone goes out there and deletes that fucking guy. I mean, it was absolutely horrible. Bartman had to move out of Chicago, and there's a documentary called Catching Hell. Check it out. Bartman says he still likes the Cubs, but will never go to another Cubs game. And he said he says he has absolutely no comment on the situation. More power to Bartman. Eric Bartman has a lot of class, and I give it to Todd McFarlane. He at least destroyed the ball in a way that made everyone happy, and that was funny. He ran 2 million volts of electricity through it.
Nice.
Hey, you know what? The Cubs went on to win. That incident, by the way, happened in the 7th inning. They only had a 1-run lead. Play some better fucking baseball. Don't scapegoat your goddamn fans.
No, maybe it was the team. So,
they are now the Washington Nationals.
Yeah,
Nationals. Yeah, damn it. Leave it to the French. So anyway, I think we just go to America and get.
That was a good stadium. I walked by there when I lived there.
It was a good stadium.
I have an Expos Stadium question. The Expos, God bless you guys for not wanting to back down off baseball. And that stadium was built for the 76 Olympics. And Olympic stadiums mean these things: cheap, fast, bad, and horrible. The roof started falling in and killing people. So not to be fucking deterred, they cut the fucking roof off the stadium and said, come on down.
I know.
What was it like? What was it like in that stadium when they cut the roof off, aside from feeling safer? What was it like in April?
It was pretty airy.
I never was in it when it was done. It was bad, though. By the time I seen it, it was falling apart. It was actually not even a baseball stadium anymore. And there was talk
there
about
are no baseball stadiums. The only baseball stadiums that they have now are Wrigley Field. I hate to say it. And also Fenway Park. Ranker Steve can celebrate that one. Yankee Stadium is not it's the Miles Morales of Yankee stadiums. The Yankee Stadium now. It is not the Yankee Stadium. It is a Yankee Stadium. There is no Shea Stadium anymore. There is Citi Field. It's not a fun ballpark because the team in it is terrible, but it's a good park. There are no ballparks. The most fun I've had in a ballpark in the last 13 years since they tore down the Yankee Stadium, which was a great place to see a game, was at the Tampa Bay Rays game. The Rays fans against the Yankees had a good time. I don't know what it's like when they play the Pirates, but hats off to baseball, and everybody out there rooting for the team that's still in it. I hope they win. I'm a Yankee fan, so we're fucked.
Well, and seeing how we're at the 1 hour mark, we're just going to take a brief break here for something different.
Or a corporate sponsor.
This show is brought to you by not only S-Mart, but this other fine sponsor.
Exactly.
Too tired during the day? Self-conscious about your body image?
Well, then you might be fat! Come on down to Weebo's gym! Do it! Yeah! We'll fix you up, you greasy, disgusting animal!
Just do it!
Learn how to lift!
Yesterday, you said tomorrow. So just do it!
Pump some iron!
Do it!
Fuck you!
Don't let your dreams be dreams. The burn increases now.
I don't understand.
If you want to turn yourself into a proud samurai warrior, you need the katana samurai sword. This high-quality plastic weapon is a Japanese longsword which will look just perfect with your traditional Japanese hakama.
There we go.
Listen, may I just be the first to say, congratulations, Shia LaBeouf, for seeming to have changed your life around. You would have made a better replacement for Indiana Jones than what we got. If only Steven Spielberg wasn't a woke asshole, maybe he would have overlooked the fact that you were just young. And just in defense of Mr. LaBeouf, he wasn't an accident that involved drunk driving. He wasn't the person who was drunk. He was hit by a drunk driver, and his hand had to be reconstructed. So
that's right.
Before you call this man a drunk, please. And I understand a lot of people might not like him just because he's like kind of openly changed his life and admitted he was wrong, which is something we never do anymore. But I take my hat off to him. He's a better man now than he was years ago, and we should all hope to go on his fruitful journey.
Because you need fudge. So, Sita, I love when streamers do their own ad. Bubble Pop song is Korean. I don't care.
Well, the copyright gods might. I don't know.
Yeah.
Are you saying it's a real?
Yeah.
Are you saying it's a real song?
Pump iron.
Yes, it is actually.
Oh no.
I miss the K dramas. I should call my ex-wife.
Yes, you probably should.
Or maybe I'll keep that 15-year streak of not talking to her alive. I think that's probably the better thing to do. They say that it's what they say is true, Mike. Only the first year of marriage is hard. Then it becomes easier. Ever since a year into that marriage, I went down the fire escape and never went back. It's been easier every day.
I'm almost to the point where I'm like the dad on Everybody Likes Raymond. So no, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Your children silently leave the room at the beginning of every scene, so you have them, but it doesn't matter. Is that what you mean by that?
Exactly.
Did anyone
That's
ever
pretty
notice
much
that
it,
the children don't talk? They have children, and it's acknowledged they're a family. But the idea is that they didn't want to make it into a family show, so the decision was made that the children, maybe once or twice, they make a joke. But almost every time, what happens is, and she's like, "Okay, now off to school." The children leave, and the scene starts.
Holy
Something
crap!
like that.
No, exactly.
Hey, you know what? If maybe they're being kind, because if you want to talk about being a bad parent, you want to be a bad parent, bring your kid to Hollywood and try to get them into TV and movies.
Yeah, precisely. Right. Soiled their lives forever.
Ask Drew Barrymore how that worked out.
Yeah, exactly. Oh my God. Said to clear a diet. Ugh. Anyway, so how does everyone feel about James Bond?
I love James Bond.
I'm afraid to answer that.
Wait, he's fighting he's fighting a men's pride movement in the latest authorized story, which is, I think, just a book. It's a book.
Oh, you're so close, Teague. It's amazing.
It's an essay length story. It's not much of a story.
I don't
think much of the people who made it, to be honest,
is it a short novella? Is it a comic book?
The latest James Bond novel makes it abundantly clear
is what it is.
The villains are the white men who oppose wokeness.
Well, goodness.
Yes.
Define woke. Define woke.
We're about to do that. So
I don't mean you. I mean them. Like, what are you telling me what not to do? Please be more specific.
Yes.
If you're telling me to sleep through your movie, I did that on the last one. I fucking couldn't stand that horrible movie.
I didn't even see that movie.
There's a half an hour of it.
Waste my time with it.
It's so
a half hour of it. A half hour of the movie's really good, but it's sprinkled throughout a 2 hour and 25-minute movie.
Oh, goodness. Another dead franchise.
Exactly.
Dude, when they hit the Bond music and the car starts spinning with the machine guns going for about 2 minutes, you're like, yes, yes, yes. And then the music dies down and Timothy and Daniel Craig talks, and you're like, delete me. Delete me.
So, the latest James Bond novel on His Majesty's Secret Service.
Which is a reused title. That is a reused title.
Exactly.
There are already two.
Yep.
There are two books with that name already, and a movie. This is the third time around.
Come up with an original title, you schmuck. Anyway.
I'll give you one right now. You ready? Golden Forever, James Bond. Go. It works. You got two titles combined.
Yeah. By Charlie Higson, which arrived on bookshelves back in May, features white men who oppose wokeness as the villains. Oh my, really? Like, we didn't see.
Can we get a Bond fan to write the James Bond novels, please?
Yeah, that'd be asking too much in this day and age.
Somebody who knew something about James Bond.
It shares. It's the 4th of May. 2 days
look, there's the happiest Bond of all.
Of King Charles III, and the world's favorite spy has work cut out for him. Bond is sent at the last minute to thwart an attempt to disrupt the coronation by the wealthy, eccentric, and self-styled Stan of Wessex, who I can't do it as Sean Connery anymore, who is on a deadly mission of his own to teach the United Kingdom a lesson. Can Bond dismantle his shady plans and defeat his privately hired team of mercenaries? Well, let's find out. So,
yawn.
Yes, yawn. Like, we haven't seen this before. No, actually, we haven't, because, pretty much most of the James Bond movies have been good. So, while the synopsis does not make it clear who Alistan Wessex is,
yeah,
sure, we'll go with that. The book is butchered anyway, so what does it matter if I butcher the name? True. A screenshot of the book from Leo Curse and brought to Bounding into Comics attention by ex-user Kenobi Stig hints at who the villains are. The excerpt shared by Leo is part of the Bond infiltrating Athelstan's organization, and more specifically his Anglo-Saxon castle. In order to do so, he poses as Peter Stanborn, the leader of a group of 30 mercenaries. Pew, 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 pew. Okay. So, Curse excerpts sees Bond observing a number of guests who have been invited to Alfdan's castle. It specifically describes a man as Roger Burkett. Burkett was an ex-Tory MP famous for promoting COVID vaccines, mask wearing, 5G conspiracy theories, which had spilled over into the usual anti-immigrant, anti-EU, anti-BBC, anti-MSM, anti-cultural Marxist, climate change denial pronouncements. So, for all of you that don't know what the Tories are, basically, Tories are essentially conservatives. Okay, just to make that clear for anybody that may not know.
Wait, what are they?
Tories.
Yeah,
the Tory party
what's...
in the UK are essentially conservatives.
We have the same system here in Canada too.
So
Yes.
if they were here, they would be called Republicans.
Republicans,
Yeah.
right?
Yes.
Right. Yeah. So it was an anti-trans diatribe that had eventually got him kicked out of the party. And as soon as he set up the New Freedom Party, ooh, does any of this kind of sound familiar?
Oh, goodness.
Yeah, it continues. Bond was struck by something. It was a long while since he had been any kind of function that was almost exclusively full of men. It felt strange. There was not even a pretense at diversity here. Oh God, Athelstan.
James Bond has never been to a fucking football game? I've seen those British football games on fucking television. It's like 3% women. What are you, James Bond?
yeah.
What does he do in his free time? It's James Bond is a fucking loser. It's like, hey mate, you want to go to the football game and we'll have a piss of it and have a few pints? No,
Yeah.
I'm going to have one glass of wine and go to the
Athelstan hadn't been the least bit concerned about ensuring that half the people he had hired to carry out the scoop should be women or non-white or disabled. What? You're gonna hire disabled mercenaries? Like, what are you insane?
I'm gonna hop on. What?
Yeah, I'm going to bite you with my wooden stick of a leg. So I'm gonna slap you with some fish. So yeah, Monty Python reference, people.
Monty Python.
Pop culture. So this was an unapologetically old school gathering, and Athelstan's world. In Athelstan's world, he was king and could do whatever he wanted. So here's the post on X. All right, the latest Bond book, everything that used to be an escape from conformity and mocked the orthodoxy. Bond viz stand-up comedy has been neutered, indoctrinated, co-opted, homogenized. Bond is now an HR rep using compliance with the organization's values. So here it is. Okay. An excerpt from the book. Burkett was an ex-Tory MP famous for promoting COVID vaccines, mask-wearing 5G conspiracy theories, which has spilled over into the usual anti-immigrant, anti-EU, anti-BBC, anti-MSM, anti-cultural Marxist climate change denial pronouncements. It was an anti-trans diatribe that eventually got him kicked out, and so yeah, blah blah blah. He soon set up the New Freedom Party. So
let's paint with as broad a brush as we possibly can.
God,
but we're the ones who have freedom of speech. I don't know what the fuck your problem is. Why don't you get with it and like join with the Americans?
Oh. Yes, and John Rendell here. Yeah, Tories are more like a libertarian than Republican. Yeah, that's true.
Oh, gotcha.
Oh,
Yeah,
thank you for clearing
like
that up. You know, I do think this country suffers from the lack of choice. It would be nice if we had Democrats, Republicans, and then something like Democrat non-insane and Republican non-insane, where like they could go and talk to each other in the middle. But I just want to say right now that I think anybody who would take it upon themselves to want to run for office and want to lead that many people is an egotistical and insane person that I innately fear. So I'm looking for the least of two crazy people in every election, in my opinion, who in their right mind would want to be a politician? Why? Why would you want to do this?
Yeah, exactly. Oh, and hail to Disney Sheepherder that dropped in too.
Yeah,
so,
hey there.
It's great to see our friend the Disney Sheepherder. He is a mighty wrench. And Dadman's link is in the chat for those of you who might not be familiar. He is a great YouTuber. He's talking about the SEC, but he's writing off this year's eventual champion, the Stony Brook Seawolves, led by their mascot Wolfie. The real champions again will be the school that has the most Nobel Prize graduate winners that came from it, not the people who win some trophy that may or may not hold up because people are on performance-enhancing drugs. Just like to point out, Stony Brook, Manhattan Project, Phase 2 was held there. We have a track record of success and Nobel Prize winning, more Nobel Prize winners than any other school in New York.
Yeah.
We don't care about wins or losses. One day we're going to be your bosses. That's the Stony Brook cheer.
Yeah. But I mean, this, oh God, it's just a constant, nonstop attack of, and I don't want to go like left and right here or anything like that, but it's like basically anybody that is opposed to just questioning authority or just questioning certain situations, or and anybody out there, some people out there will just blatantly just believe anything that's told to them, right? Just as we know them as sheep, essentially, right? You tell me something, okay, I'll automatically believe it. There's no discernment whatsoever of maybe just possibly questioning authority whatsoever. Or anything that you might see on the news or anything like that. No, you just have to make them out to be like bad guys, criminals, terrorists, blah, blah, blah. Go ahead, Foggy.
Remember the days, we grew up, we're older, of the days when you had the Sex Pistols, Dago Abortions, real punk bands that would speak against the system. And that was cool for our Nowadays, no, they're out and this, we got to hate that. And we love the government and we trust them. And no, stop.
Exactly.
Is that why I've been finding my question authority? It doesn't make you a bad guy.
George Carlin himself said to question them. He was a genius. Yes. Could have been a politician. George, I idolized. Like, George Carlin was an amazing man, and he'd always question all these stupid, idiotic authorities. And it just, what is wrong?
And what's the ultimate thing to say is that when George Carlin passed away, the city of New York wanted to name the street he was born on after him.
I heard about
that. The Catholic Church said no because there was a church on that street corner where the sign would be, and he was anti-authoritarian in a way the church did not care for. Yeah. Hey, nobody's perfect in the sense of the church is wrong on this one. George Carlin deserved to be honored. Yep. And if he was saying things about, how people should be a little more true to their beliefs, I don't think George Carlin did anything wrong, despite my affiliations with any religion.
No, and this villain sounds like he was created after Jordan Peterson because he hates the WEF.
Yes,
he's not transphobic, by the way, people. He doesn't hate trans people. He just didn't want to be forced to use pronouns. That's why he got let go. He doesn't hate trans people. He said no, they're good. He'll sit there and talk and say he doesn't judge people for that, but he didn't want to be forced to use the English language. So
coerced language.
Jordan Peterson.
Yep.
Yes. Jordan Peterson is, I believe he was out of Ryerson University.
He's a modern day genius. He's like the modern day, like he's
and he had tenure. And what was he teaching?
Clinical psychology,
something like that. Something along those lines. I'm sorry.
Based 101.
But because of our Canadian stupid laws over here, some of the stuff, you have to force to say the pronouns and stuff like that. He's like, I shouldn't be forced to use the English language that is being coerced to me. He will respect the person, but he said it shouldn't be forced. No, you should. That gets away our freedom of speech, which Canada has lost, believe it or not.
You'd be surprised how easy it is to tell people what they want to hear face to face anyway.
Yeah.
Just sitting there dealing with it. And it's preposterous if it's Mike in a coconut bra and a grass skirt, and he's sitting there looking for a bank loan. Like, he's not getting a loan, but he's not getting a loan. But if I work at the bank, I'm like, ma'am, I'm sorry.
Drag into the hula?
Yeah, but we all already saw that on Doomcock's birthday.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I will admit to that.
And actually, if you wore the bra and the dress, you might actually get the loan. You can say, "Listen, you give it to me, or I'll call you."
Oh, scroll down a little more. Scroll down a little more. Ladies and gentlemen, there's the only Bond girl who was in that movie. In the pictures, they keep her back turned so you can't see how beautiful she is, and it's above the waist. And what I say, this picture has been unfun zoned. This picture's been unfun zoned They kept the Bond girl in this movie to about 11 minutes. She owns Bond 4 or 5 times in that 11 minutes, and then she says being a spy is easy. She learned in 2 weeks. I
know, right? Like, oh God, really?
I don't. Let's not blame Anna de Armas, a great and upcoming Cuban actress, and it's always good to see another Cuban doing well, like Justin Trudeau.
Yes, exactly. However, in this excerpt, isn't it even the most erroneous part of
Don't thank me, thank Castro.
Yeah, exactly. And Miss Trudeau. As Bond arrives for the party, Higson writes, he wanted to blend in, not draw attention to himself. He was Peter Sanborn, someone who was serious about his job. He just hoped to God that anyone else wasn't going to be wearing cloaks and hoods and jingling about in chainmail. Like, what? Cloaks and hoods?
Do they worship? Are they going to worship a giant?
Are they going to a clan meeting or something like that? For God's sake!
The next line is like, and then former President Clinton said, "Let us face the giant owl."
Yeah,
is that the next line?
Yeah,
of cloaks and hoods. Oh, white men are racist, and we're all part of the KKK, I guess. Wait,
knights in white satin.
Upon entering the main room, Bond.
I find that song problematic.
Many of the men in the room could be described as ex-something, ex-military, ex-politician, ex-media pundit for hire. They'd become more and more extreme in their views and too toxic, unruly, and unsafe to remain affiliated with radical groups they'd join. When you became too far out for a right organization, you knew you were really on the outside. Oh, God.
This should be a really fun book to read.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
When I need
soon to be
for the winter to keep warm.
Coming soon, free on Kindle.
Oh, can you imagine if this is made into an actual Bond movie? Oh, my God. This would be the first Bond movie to bomb.
Yes.
Are we getting? Yes. Is the next Bond going to be like an openly trans guy?
Yeah, no doubt.
Are we gonna have a Bond like? Are we gonna have like a female to male, and it's just like respect my pronouns, and then doing all the same things like, hey, Franco. Where are they going with this Bond thing now? If you're not comfortable making a Bond movie, if you're so uncomfortable making a Bond movie, you have the means to make a spy movie. You know how. You have the backers, you have the financing.
Yes.
Put Bond to bed until it's time for him to come out of the closet. I almost said, but put Bond on the shelf for a while. If you feel like we've moved past him, if you feel so terrible. We found out that other people can buy the rights from the literary company. There were once 2 competing different James Bond franchises.
Yeah, true. Or in this case, you're putting him in a coffin. Higson continued, but just look at them right now. With their champagne and nibbles, their shiny shoes and beaming faces. They were firmly on the inside and loving it. They'd found their tribe, and very soon they were going to announce themselves to the world. No longer outcasts. No longer canceled, no longer marginalized. They were going to be the new overlords.
My God,
there was only one person standing between them and chaos. James Bond.
Come on.
I suggest it would be more fun if James Bond was simply going to go snuff a drug dealer in this book. And that was
hold on. It gets better.
He had orders to kill a drug dealer. He didn't like murder, but he didn't like drug dealers either. He went after the deadly fentanyl salesman sent by the People's Republic of China. My book already sounds
10 times better. Exactly.
Yeah, I know.
And more realistic.
As Bond made his way through the room, oh God, I would love to read this whole book just on a live stream. I swear to God, I would have so much fun with this. As Bond made his way through the room, he makes.
Let's do this as a radio play, please.
We should.
Can we do this as theater and just make a troll version of it?
Yes, he makes further observations about who these men are. The men he talked to, and veritably started with what shows they'd been streaming sports, travel, women, cars, and soon moved on to laughing about how much they hated cyclists and bus lanes and congestion charging and traffic calming and how global warming was a con. And sooner or later came round to the big woke conspiracy, Black Lives Matter, the Great Replacement, and what are we gonna do about the Muslims?
Wow!
What the Pluto?
Wow! They just conflated so many things. By the way, I've seen like a lot of my friends have been to England, right? I've heard this from people who've been to London. They say the cycling there and the way people cycle is like really rude and dangerous. And I even know someone who was hit by a cyclist. And if you want to think about the level of courtesy and self-awareness shown by these European cyclists, Bono Lake was in the hospital for 3 months after he has in a one-person bike crash. How fast was he going on that bicycle? And I don't know if he can play the guitar anymore. So this thing about like the Europeans not liking bicyclists, it might be that Europe needs to like rethink the way they let people ride bicycles there. Like there seems to be a real problem with that.
Yeah. Well, we're going to have a male to female, a female to male to female bond.
Where can I get it?
We can change it like a transformer car. Yeah. No, the next James Bond is going to be about hair color, and the evil hair color fortress is going to try to steal all the chemicals to make hair color. So James Franco, James Bond and ginger hair.
Where can I buy this book? I want this book. This is a shut up and take my money moment.
By the way, I just realized something.
It came out in May. Or
so I can probably find it used.
Do you know hair color is a threat to climate change?
Gap After Dark is absolutely correct. Yes.
Oh, jeez.
That was all the buzz about the hairspray, the aerosol hairspray in the 70s.
Guys, may I say something?
Destroying the ozone layer.
I want to correct myself because I'm realizing something. Because for the entire run of James Bond until now, the title has actually always been on Her Majesty's Secret Service. So because it's a king now, we have the first time we've ever. It's a pronouns please Bond story. It's on His Majesty's Secret Service for the first time ever. And I would just say, if this meant so much to you, why isn't it called on Their Majesty's Secret Service?
I know. Okay.
So this book written by a bigot about how you need to not be a bigot in your language has bigoted language in the title. Take it. Consider the source, ladies and gentlemen. Consider the source.
On His Majesty's concubine. Oh, jeez. Oh, my God. Okay. So, I'm so glad it's Friday.
John Rendell has it. John Rendell has it on Her Majesty's Secret Service. Yeah, she's got a Microsoft Surface with a lot of porn on it.
Oh, my God. Okay. So, further still to the novel, once Alice Stan makes his entrance, he addresses the party goers. Here, okay. Now I'm gonna have to do this, right? Because I don't get to it goes back to the oi, you guys are a bloody best. A cheer, the backbone of England, even though half of you aren't English at all. But you know what I mean. However, you understand that a country, any country, if it's worth its salt, must stand for something. Many people think I'm utterly old-fashioned and out of touch. But do you know what? I couldn't care less. I believe in an idea of nationhood. A country must mean something. Or what is it? It's just a place full of random people. A meaningless blob of this service of men and women. Oh, sorry. I'm not allowed to call them anymore, are we? But you lot, real quick, brainwashed by all this trendy leftist Tommy Wright, and you prepared to stand up for your principles. You prepared to do something. You to be something, to stand and fight. You are the 300 Spartans at Thermopylae. ready to lay down your lives on the line to keep the hated foreign invaders out. You are the boys in red at Roke's Drift, holding back an army of Zulus. You are the process taking on the Argentines at the Goose Green. I did that very well.
Where do I sign up? This guy's
Oh,
fucking
man.
base. I'm
Yeah.
in. I'm in.
So,
I'm in.
yeah.
I have $100 for this cause right now. What is their website? What is their
Dr. No
website?
Ginger.
But by the way, he said absolutely nothing wrong for like until like the last three. They made him an extremist in those last three sentences, but most of that speech is like, "Oh, a country should stand for something." Like that is so generic. Well, of course the country should stand for something. All of us should stand for something. If you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything. Like buying this piece of shit pronouns please book.
Exactly.
No, the only
Mike.
thing they didn't work in somehow was a quote by Reagan, where Reagan said, "A country without borders ceases to be a country."
Exactly.
Yeah, well, you know what?
That would
They're
be
gonna-
like the cherry on top.
You know what I would have? This speech was so poorly written. They would have had him say something like, "As our leader Reagan said, the future does not belong to the faint of heart; it belongs to the bold." Like something that was normal. They would have like demonized that. These people have no clue. Like, do they have like a common sense detector? Forget a bullshit detector. A common sense. Get a clue.
No,
This is
common sense has long left the building.
The villain's speech is inspiring for 5 of 7 sentences, and then like they try to twist it, but like the last 2 aren't even that insane. Like they don't say the bloody. They say the bloody invader. They don't like get specific enough. Like where's the part where it's like, I'm talking about person X from place B who comes through the border at point C. You know, like it's just like bloody invaders. Well, if you're a bloody invader, defined as nothing else thereof, I do in fact oppose you. I'm sorry, I'm with this guy. Maybe I'm anti-bombs.
Yeah. It goes on. Oh, God.
It goes on.
We really should do like a regular broadcasting of this. Oh, this is just comedy gold.
Oh, the jokes write themselves.
But it goes on. But you also understand what crucial thing. The greatest enemy is not a foreign invader. It's not a Persian or a Zulu or an Argy. It's the enemy among us. The greatest threat comes from those who are trying to undermine our great country from within. Be it a biased BBC journalist with a hidden agenda, a beardy from Islington who thinks we should all ride vegan bicycles and worship at the altar of Karl Marx, or a man in a dress who insists we call them they. They've taken our history, our culture, our great legacy, and tossed it in the bin. Turned it into a pantomime, a charade. King Charles III, perhaps we should call him King Charles the Woke. His great-grandfather, George V, ruled an empire for over 4 million people that covered nearly 14 million square miles. Nearly a quarter of the world's population and a quarter of the world's Earth's total land. And what happened to it all? What did they do with it? They gave it away because it wasn't nice to have an empire. Well, it wasn't so much quite that, but what do they know about history anyway?
Oh,
you know? Oh God. Oh geez, you know what? As I do that accent, I'm literally like spittling all over my keyboard. I'm not gonna lie. I saw pieces of phlegm. Yeah, and oh God, I need a drink after that. And it's so fun to do, actually.
I bet that this book. Oh man.
Oh yeah.
There's got to be a link where I can buy this.
Yeah. See that true. I guess people don't use doors for their homes because they don't like borders. That's true.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Oh God. Yeah, Franco, if you gotta go, that's okay, dude. Just hit the like button and spread if you can, because this is just
thanks
hilarious.
for joining us.
Yeah, thanks, man. I really appreciate it. Yeah, so Well, it was becoming harder to actually manage all those colonies that were part of the British Empire and whatnot. And, well, some of the native population of certain said lands were overwhelmed that the British couldn't handle anymore, so they had to opt out. Yeah, so, oh God, lifties don't know history. I'm sorry. Some do. Other extreme woke retard authors do not. So, so eventually, Bond begins to tune out Alistan's speech and begins to judge those in attendance. Of course, he would. So, Alistan's private army was a toxic mix. Some of the losers were looking for validation. Others were thugs who enjoyed violence and wanted justification for it. They were all descendants of all those crusaders pouring out of the west into the Holy Lands, begrudged ex-military, professional private security firms looking to make a hit. Finally, Alistan reveals his grand plan. Oh God, I gotta remove this.
Goodness.
Oh, here we go. Okay. Bear with me, folks, because remember, again, on this channel, our suffering is for your enjoyment. So I hope you all are getting a good kick out of this. So here we go. There are a handful. There. Oh, this is just so funny. There are a handful of traffic pinch points around London. Block them, and you bring central London to a standstill. At the same time, we'll shut down the power grid. We'll cause a computer blackout. We'll get into Parliament, make the Capitol riots look like Aunt Fanny's tea party. We can do these things, and we will do these things. We'll get into the BBC with its pathetic security system. Its guards outsourced to some godforsaken outfit like Rent to Kill. When once we've shut down the hated mainstream media, we'll shut down Buckingham Palace, Parliament. You, each one of you with your own units, know what to do. We'll create maximum havoc. We'll ensure that Charles is up ground on the 6th. Oh God, really? Yeah. Oh, yeah. Now, what was that? Was that February this? I gotta look again. You know what? Was that February the 6th or was that July the 6th that he was inaugurated? Charles. So I'm trying to actually look back into the what the hell? I don't care. That big radar dish
I
freaking
don't know.
Piece of crap. So anyway, yeah. So that's about the new book. That's
crazy.
Yeah, just stop Bond. So, yeah, James
I'll
Bond.
take dead franchises for 100.
Oh God, like really? This how can this possibly be a James Bond novel? I would just replace it with any other name but James Bond.
But certainly not Jason Bourne.
This is, you know what? Oh, no, that's true. If James Bond has such a how should I put it, a legacy of taking the novels and essentially adapting it to film, if this one is next on the list of movies to come out,
don't curse us. Don't curse us.
Yeah.
No, I'm trying not to, but I want to prepare for the inevitable. And
I love James Bond films. This is just
no.
If they adapt this is going to be the hugest James Bond flop in history.
I think it should be adapted into a perfect format for what it is. It should be a comic book, because this is I don't think I could take this seriously.
Yes, Sita, I do love chocolate. I'm a chocoholic. So we all do. And I will commission you to make brownies or whatever chocolate for the rest of us. So, a Clockwork Bond. God. Oh my God, yes.
they're actually releasing a part 2 to that, eh? Clockwork Orange.
Oh yeah, that's what I heard. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, this is all Kermit the Frog's fault with that stupid Rainbow Connection song. God. Oh, jeez.
Cue the gay frogs rant from Alex Jones.
Oh no!
See, it all ties in.
It all ties in.
All of them.
It's all
They're turning
interconnected.
all of them. Oh god. Oh wait. I'm sorry. Tig, I'm sorry. I didn't know you were out. I'm sorry.
It's fine. It's
Oh,
fine. No,
my God.
you were reading. You know,
Oh god.
at least the cover looks kind of cool.
Oh, the art's amazing. It's like, oh wow.
Oh yeah.
But
It looks much like Dalton's Bond.
It
the
does,
guts
kind of,
of it just are trash.
Why?
Yeah, no. When you
There's so many songs about
when you
rainbows.
lock your
What?
camera device to off, but then you
Ugh.
turn your if you accidentally turn your camera off while you're toggling the avatar, it kicks you as device disconnected. So because I locked the camera off, I kicked myself.
Okay.
That's how that happens. Ins and outs of streaming,
Well,
ladies and
then-
gentlemen. You get everything here. A little Bond information about a book no one's going to buy. Mike just
Yeah.
saved all of you potentially like $11. Yeah,
Yeah.
this is never going to be a movie. This was
Oh.
already probably a porno movie. Or this I'll
Yeah.
say this, there's no porno movie with a plot worse than that one.
Yeah, there we go. Road tour to Sweden.
We don't hate ourselves because the way we were born, said the
Oh.
man who should hate
Oh,
himself.
there we go. It looks like Trump's mugshot.
It kind of does, yeah. I saw the first.
Let me
thing
tell you
that-
something. I would take
saw-
all the terrorists. I'm gonna hunt them all down.
Somebody
Nobody
walked past.
stands against 00 Trump. So
Listen,
it's gonna be
there's
fabulous. We're gonna have the biggest gun ever. So
somebody
We're all going
walked
to
past me
Guantanamo.
wearing. Somebody walked
Yeah.
past me wearing the Trump mugshot T-shirt.
oh, awesome.
The first time. Well, I didn't know what to make of it. Right. It just
Right.
said parental advisory. No, it was an all black T-shirt,
Oh,
and it had Trump, and then in the upper corner just
Oh.
said parental advisory explicit.
yeah, yeah.
And I was just
Man.
like, I don't really know what to make of the shirt, so I guess it's okay. I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, and this.
If
this
If
is
anybody
my
knows
biggest
what that
fear.
means, let me know. You know, I mean, I
They're-
was just like, okay. We took two things that worked and kind of just threw them together in a T-shirt mashup.
Even
probably.
knowing this exists hurt my brain cells. I think some died.
It
Yeah.
did.
Yeah.
Pretty
Nowhere
bad.
in this rambling story did you come close to anything approaching a coherent thought. I award this book no points, and may God have mercy on the author's
Yeah,
soul.
exactly.
Exactly.
But this is my biggest fear with this book coming out, and with the history of making the books into the movies. That my biggest fear is that they make this new book into the next James Bond film. Because
I'm
because
surprised
remember,
it hasn't already. I mean, somebody's
Yeah.
got to have already done a script treatment for it, and like they're looking at it like this is the best thing ever. We have to make this.
oh, I'm sure, because in the last movie, he was not 007 anymore because they replaced her with a strong female black character. She was the new 007, right? Only until, of course, he got reinstated. But but we can't have him in the beginning of the movie, basically as James Bond, 007 James Bond. No, he has to be replaced. This is going to be your replacement, and of course, we're going to kill him off at the end of the movie.
Right.
So, with like what 10,000 warheads and whatnot, just blowing the whole
Holy
entire
shit!
place
Wait,
up.
but
Right?
I'm wondering something here. Am I wrong, or does Daniel Craig start every movie except one not being James Bond, right? Not being 007. He's not 007 in the beginning of the last one. He's not
Yep.
007 in the beginning of the first one. He's quit being 007 for one of them. The one after the only Quantum of Solace is he like, yeah, I like my job. I'm 007. That's the only time. And that movie was
Yeah.
ass.
Exactly.
I mean, Schwarzenegger in True Lies was more James Bond than he was.
Yeah, pretty much. But
On this day of Star Trek's anniversary, may I just say it's a shame we never got Schwarzenegger as either a captain or a villain in a Star Trek movie with William Shatner. How great that would have been.
Hey, on
The
a brighter
damn
note,
Klingons.
we still have the Kingsman. I don't know if you've ever seen that series. That's a
Yep.
good young spy
Yeah.
series. And of
Yeah.
course, Mission Impossible, the new one's out. I've enjoyed those. So we still
Kingsman
have-
is really good.
Oh, I love the
Yeah.
Kingsman. You know, they're pretty much taking over what Bond was. So
Yeah, exactly. That says if the make I don't watch yesterday, I watched one with Timothy Dalton. Yeah,
Oh,
he was not a bad.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah, I'm gonna ask the chat this and ask every one of you who was your favorite James Bond?
Make a
Republic.
poll. Make a poll.
Oh,
Yeah.
There you go.
We shall make a poll.
okay, how about everybody in the room right now between us?
Wait, but by the way, before we say favorite Sean Connery, favorite James Bond, Sean Connery is not an option. He's iconic. Do we agree?
Sean Connery
This
is an
way-
option.
Well, then everybody's answer's the same, and we're done. Moving on.
Pretty
Actually,
much.
no. I'm gonna say I love Sean, but I first started with Roger Moore, and I didn't hate Roger Morris. He was the first, and I love.
No one hates Roger Moore, but who's the favorite James Bond? I mean,
I
I'm not
Roger
gonna.
Moore.
It would be unmanly to say anyone but Sean Connery. I'm sorry. My strict code of chivalry demands that I answer Connery. If he's an answer option for any question, it's like, okay, you're in this situation. Whose course of action do you take? One that would be favored by, Albert Einstein or Sean Connery? And I'm like, I go with what Sean Connery would do.
Yeah.
But you're not
But you know
physically
what?
strong enough to do it. Well, I'm not as smart as Einstein either, so I'd rather go out like Connery.
I'm not gonna lie. For me, it is Connery, but Roger Moore comes a close second.
My second favorite
because he's my first Bond. So
everybody's forgetting
he's
about
my
Pierce
first
Bronson.
Bond.
Yeah, Pierce
Because his
Brosnan,
movies,
I did like
he's
him.
only in one good movie and a great video game.
There's
It's because
George
his movies weren't
Lazenby.
so good. His movie is really, really good, and his theme song is really, really good. His movie's called On Her Majesty's Secret Service.
Yep.
That's right.
It's really, really good. It has Diana Rigg from the Avengers and
With
a really good
operative
opening
word being
sequence.
on.
Yeah,
The
on.
operative- yeah.
He's on. He's on and up and in there. I would just say
John Rendell, yeah. Roger Moore. There we go.
Roger. Roger Moore's great.
Yeah.
He was
See,
a tough
you know what?
and cool. He was a little more of a. He was more of the stylish side of Bond. Like he would kick your ass or smoke you with his 9. But also, the other thing he was about was like he was a Bond who was more like, oh, and I fouled my tie, and he would stop the mission to get a fresh tie for a moment, and then he would continue. Like he was that side of Bond a little more than say Connery, who's like, I may be wearing a romper, but I'm going to kick your ass.
That's right. Yep. 8-1. No one mentions George Lazenby. Yep. That's right.
He's in
George
one of the
Lazenby.
best. He's in one of the best stories, guys. That story, that movie is really, really, really good, and it has the best Blofeld because he's from Long Island.
Yep.
Telly Savalas is from Floral Park, Queens, just like John Williams. They might know each other.
Yep.
They might have known each other. John Williams might know who Telly Savalas was.
I would have to go. Okay, if I had to put them in order, it'd be Sean Connery, Roger Moore,
Sean Connery, Timothy Dalton
third, and then Pierce Brosnan.
I'm gonna go Connery.
I could switch Timothy Dalton, Pierce Bronson for me.
I'm gonna go with this one. Ready? Connery on alone on a pedestal, and then as for the other Bonds, number 1, Timothy Dalton. Love both his movies. Love his approach. Love the fact that he fought to smoke as Bond. Love the fact that he fought to act like Bond. Love that he was going to walk off the movie because it had no relationship to the Bond of books. Early Henry Cavill syndrome right there. I really appreciated how hard he tried to keep a real Bond that we could all enjoy. And both movies really, really, really good. 2 really hot Bond chicks. And when they wanted to go comic and stupid, he would only bend just so far. And then he was like, I'm out of here before I'll make a Bond movie that's bad. I'd rather see him in Beautician and the Beast than as a feminized Bond. And then, I guess after him, I'm going to say Roger Moore. I love him. And then tied is Lazenby and Pierce Brosnan, because Brosnan doesn't get a good movie except GoldenEye. And then, right down there at the bottom, who I consider an inverse and hateful, subversive Last Jedi Bond, is Craig Daniels. I hate Craig Daniels.
Yeah.
He sucks. He sucks. His wife annoys me. If you want to see his wife's ass, Rachel Weisz's ass is in the movie Enemy at the Gates. It's got Jude Law in it, who's an equally bad actor as Craig Danielson. Whatever that guy's name. Craig Daniels was the worst James Bond ever. He was the most dour and unhappy Bond.
Hello, Steven.
Hey, Steven. Hello.
Hey.
Yeah, I'd say Daniel Craig was probably the worst of the lot.
If Sean Connery is a 5-star Bond, Daniel Craig is a minus 12-star Bond. He fucking sucks. Does it bother you?
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
He doesn't even have the aplomb of Roger Moore. Where after Roger Moore will smoke somebody or kill their monster. Like he skips across those crocodiles and smokes a couple of people with his fucking. And I think he has a 6-shooter. He appropriates out of the gun, and then he tosses the gun that's not his, grabs his gun. And before he takes off, he sees a filthy mirror and straightens his tie and pulls his jacket sleeve down because he just was running through a swamp killing alligators and he can't look back. That's the thing I love, and I might be off a little about the sequence of events there, but that's the kind of Bond we got with Roger Moore, and I love that. It's tough,
exactly.
He's like, this suit still cost $1,000. It's bought me $500.
You know what? And when you watch, if any of you guys have actually watched any of the old episodes of The Saint, you can really see Roger Moore kind of as pre-Bond. It's his setup to actually being James Bond. Certain aspects of watching The Saint
experience. I think they have 2 brushes with trying to get him to be Bond too, so he starts tacking in that direction.
Yeah.
He only became an actor because his next door neighbor, Michael Caine, was like, "You're too good looking not to be an actor." And he's like, "Well, I suppose I could figure it out between my only other hobby of bodybuilding and watching rugby."
Oh yeah.
Roger Moore, a cool guy, but not a lot of fun in interviews.
It's also John
very much about acting.
And to everybody in the chat, it's also on the Roku channel as well. All the episodes are there, so you can watch
the show
them there
or the Val Kilmer movie.
No, the show. The show.
Oh wow, I have to check it out.
It's a cool show.
Oh yeah,
cool show.
I've been watching them. They're really good.
Because
really,
I remember
good.
that. I remember Man from U.N.C.L.E.
Yep.
What else?
I think they have
the Saint is closer to the Avengers. The Avengers with Jonathan Steed and Emmett Till.
Yep.
And it's from a book series as well.
Yeah.
So. But it's shot and filmed and created a lot like that British Avengers. So if you love that, maybe you want to give it a try.
Cool.
Stephen Ransom, the Bond novels are amazing. A must read for any fan of the spy movie. Also, Chitty Chitty Bang Bang was written by the same man. That's true.
Yeah.
Everything but
once you know that, it makes sense in Chitty Chitty Bang Bang too.
However, Steve, you came a little late because catch this on the rewind. I swear to God, you will not be disappointed. Yes. So.
And to go on the back of James Bond, I want to say a little something. I don't know if you guys heard. First, the guy who was supposed to play the next Bond, there was still a rumor of Henry Cavill coming in to play Bond.
That would be.
But
yeah.
Now that's still up in the air. But then yesterday, I heard another rumor of Henry. Marvel's talking to him either for 2 roles, either Doctor Doom or Captain Britain.
Oh wow!
So it's very interesting. So
I'd like to see him come back for a sequel to Man from U.N.C.L.E. because I rather enjoyed that movie.
Well, he's a good villain. Who did he play the villain in that other? What was it again? Actually, it was Mission Impossible, was it not?
Yeah, I want to say so.
Yeah, and he played a good villain in it too. That's why I think he'd be a good Doctor Doom.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. Yep. No, I would love Henry Cavill to be.
Oh, so would I. He'd do it so well.
Yeah.
Oh God, yeah. You know what? And I know that for a few years there was a lot of talk of what's his name? Black dude played Heimdall.
Oh, Idris Elba something.
Yeah, Idris Elba.
I'd be all for him. He's a good actor. It's
he's a good actor.
Yeah,
I think he turned it down because
he's British.
I think somewhere, if I'm remembering right, somewhere he was interviewed and he said he would turn down the role because he didn't want to be known as a first black James
Black,
Bond.
exactly.
Which is
And
too
I
bad. I'd
remember
be
that
okay with
right.
it
That he
myself.
says
I
that.
would.
That's
Yeah.
a shame. That's a shame.
Yeah.
It really is.
Yeah.
I think he would have done a representative job.
Oh gosh, yeah.
Yeah. No, John. No. No.
What do you mean? He'd be perfect.
Well, geez, but I don't bring Nicolas Cage in as the next Bond then if you're going that far.
Oh yeah.
Oh, God.
Why not?
Okay. How about? I got a question for you. How about
Easily
Orlando?
defeated by bees. So,
How about Orlando? How about Orlando Bloom? He's about 45 years old now,
Oh.
maybe a little older.
I wouldn't
Orlando
hate that,
Bloom
actually. Yeah,
is
no.
about the right age. Orlando Bloom seems to have done nothing but have worked out since the first Lord of the Rings movie till The Hobbit. So if he's still like jacked like that, it's been a while since The Hobbit, but he was pretty jacked in The Hobbit.
Yeah.
You know, Orlando Bloom normally has sort of wavy dark hair, and I would suppose by now some of it's going to be gray. Yeah, there you go. By the way, can I just say something right now?
Oh,
when Hollywood sends us its Batman, it's not sending us their best anymore. They're not
No.
sending us. They're not
No.
sending us Adam West. They're not sending us Christian Bale. They're sending
they're
us the Ben Afflecks and George Clooney's, and they are terrible actors. They bring crime, they bring drugs, and some, I assume, are very nice people.
That's right. We're now all
Make
James Bond villains.
Batman an American again.
Yes.
Robert Pattinson should be James Bond, not fucking Batman.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Actually,
Well,
I'll be
He would actually make a great Q.
I think Ben did play good cross between Batman and Bruce Wayne. I think he did it. He played both roles though.
Yeah.
Okay.
No,
I liked him, but that's it. My hands are up.
I neither. How about this one? I neither loved nor hated what he did. I just in the trailer they ruined the movie. We see them go off on Batman with 2 AK-47s in the trailer. And he doesn't break his stride. And I'm like, well, I'm pretty sure this guy's going to be okay. So I just skipped that fucking movie.
Well, he's representing the Frank Miller Batman too. So.
But don't show us that
that's
he's
true, too.
invulnerable. Don't show us in the trailer that he's absolutely invulnerable. Because I was like, he's going to be okay. I'll see this movie later. It's really long.
Yeah.
There we go. How about John Candy if we were live?
No, it made me cry. John was a legend.
Oh.
Oh, there we go.
Wanda
Jennifer Lawrence as James Bond.
She originated the role. She originated it.
Yep,
yeah,
I would say
she was the
Wanda.
first.
You got a better chance of Wanda Sykes.
Yeah. Oh God. Jeez.
I don't mind Wanda Sykes,
Okay.
but she's no James Bond.
So we're gonna land this plane now.
Oh, we got to come down. Bummer.
Yeah.
Perhaps we
Okay.
should put the landing gear down first.
No, we're just gonna crash this thing right now.
Crash with screeching halls. Yay.
We'll
That's
call
right.
the tower, tell them to spread foam all over the runway.
Yeah, that's right.
We're coming in hot.
God.
So hot.
Yeah. Okay, so first of all, I want to thank everybody in the chat that ended up showing up, like Gap After Dark, and Al Nickerson, animator and comic creator extreme. That's right. So I also want to plug on top of that. So mark your calendars on the 21st of September. I'm going to be doing a interview with Al Nickerson. Normally I post a video about something on a Thursday, but this on the 21st of September I'm going to be interviewing Al Nickerson, who's worked for Marvel and DC and MTV, doing animation as well, and Nickelodeon, and he's an independent comic creator as well, so I'm going to be interviewing him. So I also want to thank him for showing up in the chat the chat. Jeez. And thanking Christian Delorme that also showed up as well, and Lemon Pie, and oh yes, that's right, and of course John Rendell, and our new guest Sitha, all the way from
hello.
Sweden. Thank
Hello.
you for being here, and I hope you like and subscribe, and I hope you've enjoyed yourself, especially during the commercial break. So who else? We had James Caserta that also joined in as well. Thanks, James, for popping on by. I really appreciate it. And we also had Dad Man walking. Hey, Dad Man. And I'm trying to also find. Oh, well, yeah. And of course, we
Dad
had
Man's link is there
Stephen
in the chat for
Ransom.
you guys.
And Disney Sheepherder as well, and Stephen Ransom.
Hell.
All hail to you guys, and Franco Walker. And I'm trying to go through everybody because we've been just chatting a lot, and which is great to see. So I hope you guys like and subscribe and spread the news around on top of that. And we'll be going to Pop Culture Republic. What do you have scheduled?
Oh goodness! I
on your
might
channel?
do spur of the moment stream later tonight, more of just like a general chat about stuff. Maybe talk a bit about comic books and whatnot. Sometime tonight, maybe 10:30 my time, Central Time.
Nice. Anything in particular?
Might be looking at some Image comics from the early '90s.
Nice.
I've been threatening to do a stream about old Image books, and
right,
for some time. So I finally feel like I'm getting some things taken care of this week where I can finally arrange that schedule wise.
Awesome. That faithful train.
Yeah.
Yes. Please take
channel,
this James Bond book to Folsom Prison. So awesome. So Admiral Teague, what do you have planned? Oh, Carla, she just showed up right now. Just at the end.
Look at that.
Oh my God.
Hi.
Just waiting for the end.
Joining us
Carla,
at the end.
Get it on
Hell,
the
Carla
rewind. I swear to God, the last half of the show will be hilarious. So,
it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Teague,
That's
what you got planned?
After this show, I'm going to stream, and then I'm gonna open up a live stream.
Cool.
So like the links in the chat. Saving Star Trek's coming up in about 10 minutes, and we're gonna celebrate the first ever episode of Star Trek airing on live TV by watching that same episode, The Man Trap, on Saving Star Trek, next with your buddy Admiral Teague.
Very cool.
Your host
Very
for
cool.
1923 live watches on Thursdays and Monday, the day of a very special anniversary. I'm going to be on for a long time, and you might see a Ewan McGregor movie, and you might see a movie that has all numbers in its titles, but those numbers are not nines or ones, and we're going to mark a historic event, or I at least will. And everybody's allowed to come through. There'll be passes around for everybody. Yeah, Monday during the day, probably starting around 1 p.m. Eastern. Sorry, a special promotion today.
Oh, no, that's cool. And TJ Hooker.
All right, everybody. Well, I'm just on my way out. Once we're done here, I'm going to go to recording for the TikToks. Go check those out for the Foggy Brains channel. And tonight, debuting as always every Friday night at 9 p.m. Atlantic, which people are like, where's that? You want to just check that out as well. And just as same as every Monday night, we got the new gaming sesh, which I've now added on in the last few weeks.
Nice.
That's about it.
Awesome.
And don't forget to subscribe to all these lovely gentlemen.
Oh,
thank you. Like and
Thank
subscribe.
you
Hit
very
that
much.
like button. Sharing
Admiral
is
Teague
caring.
Admiral Teague at Saving Star Trek.
Exactly.
Hell yes.
So I know normally that I don't have like a closing video
Foggy.
for the show.
It's usually we spend the last few minutes of the show apologizing to the audience.
Yeah, exactly. In true Canadian fashion.
Sorry, dearie.
And saying quite clearly that we do not give medical, legal, or financial advice of any kind. We are entertainers and Star Trek pundits. That's it. That's it.
Exactly. So I'm just going to leave you with a short clip for you guys to laugh at on a Friday. So now it's the end of the week, and we need to relax. So I'm going to leave you with something funny. So from all of us here on the panel to all of you in the chat, enjoy.
We love you all.
We will see you on a Tuesday.
Bye, all. Thanks for joining us.
Stay tuned.
Hit that Saving Star Trek link in the chat.
Look who I found! For the love of Christ, I am trying to attain inner peace, you son of a...
Can I have this?
No.
I didn't want it anyway.
What the hell is wrong with you?
I'm taking this, though.
Okay, That's an ice hat!
So you want a challenge, do you?
I do!
You do?
I do!
Do?
I do! I do!
I think
Brains are for idiots!
Yeah, he has a point there. Your constant disassembly of dialogue is interfering with any... Your constant disassembly of dialogue is interfering with any rational plot development.
What the f*** is your plot?
We must fight now because you're a pirate and I'm a ninja!
Oh yeah, let's do this thing! Jenga! Why?
Oh, come on, quit being a sissy, Mary.
You don't know what this feels like!
King of Games. Honestly, I don't understand what in the Christ is going on here.
It all started many moons ago, before the time of the internet.
Bullshit! There's always been the internet!
Cut me off again! See what happens!
I like One Piece!
Mittens, now!
You're all right, Luffy.
You, want I should vomit something up on Jumpsuit over here?
No. But there is something else I wanted to talk to you about.
If it's about bridges, forget it. I dig canals.
What's your end game? Almost nothing you do makes sense.
Sense is like cheesecake.
I have a question, Luffy-sama-chan! Why do you hate me so much?
Boy, I don't hate you! I am you!
What?
When a woman needs to be comforted, she tells you it's time to buy more shoes! But she has all the shoes, so we really know she just needs boots! Now everything makes sense. Forever.
Oh, I see! The shoes represent imperialist China and...
Jenga.
It's your move!
Get off my back!